traditionally dated to around 1325. The heart of the Valley of Mexico, in the center of a vast lake. Aztec priests stood gazing at a small island floating in the water. Here, they would build their new capital. The legend had spoken. Where the eagle perches on a rock, gripping a serpent in its talons, that is the promised land. And then, they saw it. In that moment, they knew with certainty. This would become the center of their empire. But they didn't know it yet. From this tiny island would rise an empire that would dominate all of Mesoamerica. And that this empire would make mass human sacrifice the very pillar of the state. A century later, Tenochtitlan had transformed. A magnificent city had risen from the lake itself. Population around 200,000, including the surrounding areas, perhaps even more. One of the world's largest cities at the time, rivaling or even surpassing the greatest cities of Europe. Canals cut through the city like veins, and causeways connected it to the shore. Chinampas, floating gardens, fed the growing population. This was an agricultural revolution. They built floating islands from reeds and mud, then cultivated crops on top. The Chinampas were incredibly productive. Under ideal conditions, multiple harvests per year were possible. This technology fueled the empire's population explosion. But this prosperity came at a price. 1428. Emperor Huitzilopochtli made his decision. Texcoco, Tlacopan. He would forge an alliance with these two city-states, the Triple Alliance. This alliance became the foundation for expanding conquest and tribute, with Tenochtitlan gradually seizing control. And so the conquests began. Aztec warriors swept through neighboring city-states, one after another. But their goal wasn't territory. It was captives. Living captives to offer to the gods. Huitzilopochtli, the sun god, the supreme deity of the Aztecs. They believed that sacrifice maintained the sun and the cosmic order itself. The priests declared, "If we do not feed the sun, tomorrow will never come." The numbers of victims have been described in shocking figures throughout history. But historical records contain exaggeration and political motives. Estimates vary widely among researchers, and confirming annual totals is difficult. Still, multiple sources confirm that human sacrifice was conducted on a state scale with alarming frequency. The captives knew. They knew their fate. Terror gripped them, but there was nowhere to run. Aztec priests called them the chosen ones. An honor to be offered to the gods, they said. But to the captives, it was no honor. It was death. 1487. The rededication ceremony of the Great Temple. Emperor Huitzilopochtli made his decision. This ceremony would be the greatest ritual in the empire's history. Ancient records claim 80,000 victims. Modern research suggests this was exaggerated, the actual number likely in the thousands. Even so, the scale was massive. Lines of captives stretched across the entire city. From dawn to dusk, the ritual continued. For days, the temple steps ran red with blood. In the plaza, severed hearts were piled high. This was a demonstration, a show of power to surrounding city-states. Defy us, and this fate awaits you. But the empire had another face. Cacao. These beans became a medium of value used like currency in small transactions. In the markets, all manner of goods were traded for cacao. Cacao beans functioned like money, though prices fluctuated greatly depending on goods and circumstances. High-value transactions, such as slaves, could be measured in thousands of cacao beans. The economy thrived. Trade routes spread across the empire, concentrating wealth at its heart. But this prosperity, too, rested on conquest. City-states under imperial control had to pay annual tribute. Cacao, feather ornaments, jade, and captives. February 1519. The eastern coast of Mexico. Hernán Cortés. Spanish conquistador. He commanded just 600 soldiers. Steel armor, muskets, and horses. Aztec scouts reported back. Strange creatures have come from the sea, unlike anything we've ever seen. Moctezuma II, Emperor of the Aztecs. He listened to the reports. Men with white skin, clad in iron, wielding weapons that thunder. What was he thinking in that moment? Records suggest Moctezuma was cautious. The Spanish later spread the story that the emperor feared Cortés as a returning god, but he likely made careful diplomatic calculations instead. Still, Moctezuma's hands trembled. November 8, 1519. Tenochtitlan. Cortés entered the capital. Moctezuma welcomed him. Gold, jade, feather ornaments. The finest gifts were offered. But Cortés had already noticed the wealth of this city and its vulnerability. What was Cortés thinking in that moment? Perhaps he thought this. This city sits on a lake. Block the causeways, and there's no escape. 600 men to conquer an empire of hundreds of thousands. It seemed impossible. But Cortés had weapons. And they weren't just steel and gunpowder. It was the empire's own discontent. June 30th, 1520. The retreat known as La Noche Triste, the Night of Sorrows. The people of Tenochtitlan rose up. They attacked the Spanish forces. Cortés fled. The Spanish suffered devastating losses. Of 600 men, more than half died. Cortés sat beneath a tree. Around him, the survivors. He was weeping. Records say he wept through the night. But the next morning he stood. We will return. We must. But then another enemy struck. Smallpox. A plague brought by the Spanish. The Aztec people had no immunity. Smallpox inflicted catastrophic damage on those without immunity, rapidly weakening both military strength and governance. The priests prayed, but their prayers went unanswered. The priests could not understand. Why does the sun god not protect us? We offer hearts every day. In that moment, their faith began to crack. Spring 1521. Cortés returned. But this time was different. He commanded an army of 200,000. The Tlaxcalans, tribes conquered by the Aztecs, forced to pay tribute. They joined Cortés for revenge against the Aztecs. From spring to summer 1521, the siege and final assault advanced. Food ran out. Water became contaminated. Smallpox spread further. August 13th, 1521. Tenochtitlan fell. Cuauhtémoc, the last Aztec emperor, was captured. He said to Cortés, "Kill me, but kill me quickly." The plague had fatally weakened the empire. But allied forces, siege warfare, political fragmentation, multiple factors converged to bring down the empire. Cortés destroyed the city. The Great Temple was demolished. In its place, a Catholic church was built. Where once mass human sacrifices had been offered to the sun, there a cross was raised. What is certain is that the indigenous population suffered catastrophic decline in the 16th century. Some estimates suggest a population of up to 25 million, plummeted to around 1 million. Estimates vary, but disease and social collapse combined. In some regions, around 90% of the population was lost. This wasn't conquest. This was annihilation. Smallpox, measles, and recent DNA research has revealed that a strain of salmonella caused an epidemic hemorrhagic fever that delivered the final blow. The diseases brought by the Spanish destroyed the empire. Today, beneath Mexico City, Tenochtitlan sleeps. Under the modern plaza, beneath the cathedral, ruins of the Aztec Great Temple continue to be discovered. But what the Aztecs left behind isn't just stone. Corn, tomatoes, chocolate, chili peppers. Many originated in Mesoamerica, and through trade networks, including the Aztec period, they later spread across the world. Aztec culture never died. It lives on in modern Mexican culture. So what can we learn from the Aztec Empire? First, faith can sustain a state or corrode it from within. The Aztecs governed their empire through human sacrifice to the sun god. But those rituals bred resentment among subject peoples. And that resentment became Cortés's allied army. Second, disease can destroy any empire. The Aztecs were not easily defeated militarily. But they could not defeat smallpox. Invisible enemies are sometimes the most powerful. Finally, I ask you, what causes civilizations to fall? External enemies? Internal decay? Or fate? If the Aztecs had ended human sacrifice, would history have changed? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for witnessing this story to the very end. The rise and fall of the Aztec Empire reveals the fragility of civilization. Human history is filled with countless unpredictable turning points. This channel continues to explore those decisive moments. If these stories from history speak to you, subscribe. Next time, we'll explore another moment when history changed forever. Until next time.